I bleed tonight, if I am sad tonight, I don't have a job to find. And if I work tonight, if I'm so tired tonight, I'll fall asleep when I'm home. Just so far from here, focused on my own way, with never looking back to those who lived in fear. There was nothing I could do, there is nothing you said that could make me realize how much lucky I was. Just out of reach of the fire, was not aware of the nightmare, but when I stopped to see through sight, begging for help, begging for hope, just need to open my eyes down, try to change them to sunshine, to be someone among others. I've got to try. If I bleed tonight, if I am sad tonight, I don't have a job to find. There
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome live tonight here at Kentucky Speedway. That's right, got the Kentucky Derby. And we're about to do some derbying around here and some truck action here for the Sim500 Monday Night Money Winter Series in the trucks. And these bad boys out here about to fly around here. Win the middle qualifying. Well, tonight, as always, live here at OSRNetwork, YouTube, Twitch, and oh yeah, Iracing Live. I want to appreciate them letting us do that. And tonight, got a special guest up here with me. Harrison's not feeling very well tonight. Hope he gets to feeling better. But everybody's, you've heard him before. He helps me out on Thursday nights. But as always, y'all know who I am. I'm Joe White. But Davis Richards. Davis, how you doing?
Hey, Joe. I'm doing really good. Like Joe was saying, hope Harrison gets to feeling better. But I'm excited to check these guys out. Joe's been telling me about them, and I haven't got a chance to check them out yet. So tonight, we're going to be seeing them down here in Kentucky. It's a hot track, 105 degrees track temp. And there's some bad, fast guys out here, so they're for sure going to put on a show.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Well, like I say, man, we're live here tonight, and it's going to be a good one. Kentucky can bring out a unique track. Now, you were saying earlier, Davis, we're in the daytime here. Being in the daytime can actually make this place very, very slick and treacherous type of conditions.
It definitely can, and I was just looking at it. It looks like the track cooled down by 3 degrees. It was 108 in practice, and now in qualifying they got 105. But with a slick track, these drivers are going to have to be really careful on entry and exit with that throttle, because before you know it, that truck will swing around on you if you give it too much gas.
Yeah, no doubt. Now, I'll be honest with you, this was where I got my first Iracing official win at, so I kind of like Kentucky. I like how it is. I love how the turns, when you go in there, you go in low, turn 1 and 2, and you got to let that thing drift up just a little bit. 3 and 4, you can kind of just you kind of go sort of middle of the track and come out high. But after a while, tires will play a factor here. You've got to be very careful because, like you said, you can get very slick after a while.
Yeah, they definitely can, and on these longer runs, that's where the cream is going to rise to the top with these drivers. And personally, that's my funnest, is on those longer runs with a track slick like we got today. Those drivers makes it more of a driving style track, and these drivers are definitely going to put on a show.
Yeah, no doubt about it, and definitely right now they're in the middle of qualifying here, folks, because we're live tonight here at Kentucky Speedway. And Kentucky, like I say, home of the Kentucky Derby. We're not racing horses, but we got a lot of horses up underneath the hood of these things and the trucks for the Sim500 Monday Night Money Winter Series. I want to appreciate everybody coming out here tonight. In the middle of qualifying, they get 3 laps, 10 minutes, whichever one comes first. Right now, Steve Gottschalk, he is up top there with Bobby Terrell sitting in second, Rick McBride there in third, Kevin Pearson fourth, and Bobby Wetzel, he's right there in fifth.
Yeah, Joe, these times are really close. Within probably the top 13, top 14, they're within 2/10 of each other. That's going to make for some really exciting racing once we go green here.
Yeah, that's what we like to see, man. Close style, in-your-face style racing. I mean, that makes it interesting to watch through. I don't know. I know, like you said, you're kind of new to some of these guys out here, but I'm going to tell you, they put on a very, very good show. A lot of fast guys out here. And most notably, Michael Guest. He's won already a couple races this season, and he's really fast. don't see the Malik Ray out there tonight. He must be out and about somewhere tonight, but he's normally out there. Pedro Mega's another one. Keep an eye on him too.
I've gotten the chance to race with a bunch of these guys in the official series, and needless to say, they've kicked my butt in every single one of them. Especially that 74 of Michael Guess. He's always out there tearing up the track and winning races.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Well, I've seen him make a few mistakes here and there, though, so definitely anybody's ball game. I mean, they've got a lot of talent throughout this whole field. 35 with some bad, fast boys and some bad, fast monster trucks. About to do some bad, fast things out here tonight. As we see old, looks like 65, if I ain't wrong, that's Brian Boris Cook right there. He's out doing his best drift job. 63, my man.
Yeah, I just noticed that a second ago. And another thing these drivers, and we're going to have to pay attention to, is that apron. If you look at that apron right at the start-finish line, drivers, they can go down on it to get about an extra half a tenth, if even that. But, hey, everything matters. But one thing they got to realize is they got to get back up on the track. Like if you watched the NASCAR race last weekend at Phoenix, it's kind of like that. Once those drivers go down, just because you go down there doesn't mean the driver on your outside is going to let you up.
You're right, and that's the thing you've definitely got to be mindful of on that front stretch, because if you go down there and you can't, there's also a bump there too, just like in Phoenix. There's a bad bump. You go down there, you got to understand that you could upset the car, truck, either one that you're racing, and going down there. So yeah, something to keep an eye out here, because you're allowed to go there on that front stretch, so it should be interesting, man. I'm gonna tell you, I think we're about to get set to go green flag here soon, aren't we?
Yes, sir, we are. We got about 2.5 minutes left. And, hey, I'm excited. My heart's thumping. My heart's pounding. Ready to see these drivers get on the track and see what they can do.
Yeah, no doubt about it. 35 with some bad, fast boys. Sim500, folks. Monday Night Money Winter Series here. And the reason that money part's in there is, yes, they are racing. The championship stuff is racing for money here. They pay it out at the end of the season, so that'll be awesome. The guy that wins it, Kentucky. Well, it's I like the track, like it here. Going to be interesting racing. I was talking to the owner earlier there, Davis. Man runs it here, Joey Katina, runs the show. And he's telling me it could be a good race. Could has the ability to go caution free.
Yeah, and if as much as you've told me about how good these drivers are, it very well could. And hey, that'd be awesome to see. It's really going to put it in the driver's hands so you can take care of their tires the best, and so you can come out on top and not get in trouble.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Right now, Steve, the man on point, is looking good. E.J. O'Rourke, that's another guy we need to watch out for. Very, very fast. And there's Jose Gonzalez. I call him Speedy Gonzalez Davis. It's kind of cool. I saw him come up. First time I saw the name, I went, man, that just reminds me of the old cartoon, Speedy Gonzalez.
Yeah, and I've seen that name before. I think I've seen him race in other leagues too, but definitely he's sitting in about the 10th position with a 31.480, so he's going to look to try to climb to the top once this race goes green.
He's sitting in 5th right now.
I was looking at Pedro Omega. That's my fault. That's my fault. Yeah, Jose Gonzalez.
Hey, Pedro's another one there. You know what I mean? Watch out for him.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. Yeah, I was looking at the wrong driver. Jose's running a 31.408, but definitely, like you said, got to watch out for him and see what he can do.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Well, we've got a good field here. Like I said, getting pumped up. Myself up here, man. I know Davis, he said he's excited. I'm excited. I hope everybody out there in the viewership world is excited. I want to appreciate everybody here. Give everybody a happy belated Veterans Day weekend. I hope everyone had a wonderful this past weekend. Salute to all the troops out there. Awesome. We got Thanksgiving coming up, man. Everybody knows that's Turkey Day, which I'm a hammy ham person.
Hammy ham person. Come on, Joe. You can't go wrong with turkey.
Well, you know, I mean, don't get me wrong, man. I like a little turkey, but I'm more of a ham. I'm a ham. So I gotta have ham.
Yeah, now you done got me all excited for Thanksgiving. Eat some turkey, some dressing, spend some time with the family. Hey, and most importantly, watch the Cowboys.
Lose.
Win.
Lose.
Okay.
They lost yesterday.
Oh, yeah, we don't want to talk about that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, David's a Cowboy fan. I'm a Panther fan, and unfortunately, Panthers playing tonight, and I'm sitting here like, what? Okay, but that's all right. We're going to watch some awesome racing, man, either way. Well, like I said, Steve putting it on point. Let's grid these guys up, because here we go. We're getting set to go green flag racing around Kentucky, folks. Steve Gottschalk puts it on pole tonight. Bobby Terrell right there in the second spot. Third place, Rick McBride. Fourth, E.J. O'Rourke. Yeah, I got Jose Gonzalez sitting in the 5th place, Kevin Pearson there in 6th, Bobby Wetzel there in 7th, James Pescarella sitting in 8th spot, 9th place, Byron Daly, keep an eye on him also. Pedro Megan, the Mega Machine, he rounds out the top 10 as we look through the rest of this field. Well, I'll tell you, it's star-studded and skilled. I mean, action-packed. I look through here, I really just can't name off one driver because any driver out here could pull this off.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right, Joe. And maybe you'll know the answer to this question, but I'm seeing Michael Gueston qualify. Is that something he usually does here? Does he try to go through the field, or might be having some technical difficulties?
He always comes in late. I don't know if that's by design. I really haven't got to talk to him and ask him, but I've noticed he's done that in the last couple races here, Davis. For some reason, he starts in the back, and he slowly but surely brings it to the front. So it's always interesting to do. So I know he gets here late, but I just don't know if that's just something by design that he does. And I have noticed that too in the last couple races. Maybe I'll get Harrison back up in here. We'll get him to do some investigative reporting on it, or maybe if I get to talk to him or something, we'll ask him if it's by design, because I've seen him do it a couple times.
This is the first time I've actually seen him run in a league race, but I've seen him run in official races, like I said before, and he always starts at the back, and it's fun to watch him get through the front too.
Well, and it's good too, because I'm glad he's got the confidence. Because me, I wouldn't have the confidence in the world to get through it, be up front and stay out front. But yeah, that's just me. To be able to come from the back, I mean, he's talking about starting 35th right now and working his way up through here. But see, there again, that tells you something about this league. Hey, don't want to sit here and toot the horn. Do enjoy these guys, Sim500. Appreciate them letting me broadcast this stuff here at OSRNetwork, because it is very, very fun to watch. But it tells you something about the league, that you've got the confidence enough to start 35th place and walk through the field, because and I know, Davis, trouble areas are usually the middle to the back.
Oh yeah, they most definitely are, and it's like when you get in the back of the pack, you just can't make yourself get up there, and worst comes to worst, you end up in trouble, end up with damage. And you'll probably know the answer to this question, but do these drivers have a fast repair?
No, they do not. This is one of the leagues that they don't have a fast fix, so it's a one and done here. Don't believe in it, and I actually like that, because I think it calms the drivers down to be more aware. Maybe that's why they don't have as many cautions. Now, I'm not saying they don't have them. I've had a few races with 6 or 7, but it is what it is. It's just I think it calms down, but they don't have a fast fix.
Okay, so that's something definitely to keep an eye on and watch these drivers too.
Yeah, no doubt. Pace cars coming out of turn 4. Here we go. We're about to set to go green flag racing here. Man up front, Steve Goschalk. He's got that nerve machine. Green flag. Now already taking it 3 wide in the back. 2 wide. Now here's the thing. This is a multi-groove style track. You definitely got a lot of room here to move around. As you already see going in turn 1, they're 2x2.
They're 2x2. We got the number 7. He's stuck in the middle between the number 41 and the number 78. He's going to look to try to get a run on the high side, but then we see that number 41 drop down to the bottom, see if he can make the pass. 78.
There it is. Rick McBride right there on the inside, top side. That's Bobby Terrell there in the number 7. You got E.J. O'Rourke trying to do everything he possibly can up front. And like what you just talked about earlier in the pre-show there, you already see him using the apron on that front stretch right there. You can do that, folks. Go all the way down there, but you got, like Davis said, be mindful coming back up, because you got to be back up off that apron heading into turn 1. You want to get that good arc into the turn low, let it drift out high. Right now, they're still double foul all the way back.
And using that apron, it can also upset your entry into corner number 1 too, so that's another thing to be mindful if you don't hit it just right and if you don't get back onto the track like you want to.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Look at the 48 machine, Pedro Mega making waves, sitting in 9th place already. James Pescarella right there in the 77s in front of him. You got Bobby Wetzel right there along. Kevin Pearson in the mix. They're all side by side right there battling it out.
You're right, as they're 2x2 coming on the exit. Looks like the number 9's got the advantage on the bottom side, but then you see the number 77 of James Pescarella getting that momentum on the top side.
Yep, top side might be a key. You can use the top side a little bit here, the middle groove coming on, because you get that momentum coming out through the turn. That's the thing about this track, is that top side will work. And I have not run this track since they've done the dynamic track, so I have no clue now how this track runs. I ran it, a year ago, Davis. Boy, I'll tell you, the 9 almost slid up the track. You got to watch that too, pushing condition.
You You definitely do. And with this dynamic track, what it's going to do is we get later in this race, it's going to allow that top side to open up and to get more grip, and we're going to have to see if it plays a role. But right now, it looks like these drivers are going into the corner about the middle and then trying to exit on the low side, and that's going to give them more bite to it, but that's also going to use up a lot more tire wear, and it's going to hurt them in the long run.
Yeah, tire wear will play a factor here as the laps go on with lap 5 of 120 in the books here tonight. And you're right, as they go and keep going through the pack here, tires is one thing. So that high line's not so bad on the tires. With the 9 almost clipped the wall coming out of there. He was high and wide. That's the 9 of Bobby Wetzel right there as Pedro Omega makes the pass. And it looks like Brian Daly. Keep an eye on him because Brian Daly is a past pro style driver, by the way, there, Davis.
Okay, I didn't know that. So we're going to have to keep an eye on him. If he's a past pro driver, that means he definitely knows how to wheel one of these things around.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Give me an update where on Michael Guest is right now. He has already moved up to 24th already.
Wow, so he's gained about 7-8 positions already, and he's just coming through the field.
Yep, slowly but surely, he'll work his way up there in that 74 machine. Definitely looking good so far. Well, there's single file up front. The man right now is checking out about half of a second. Excuse me about that. I had to cough a minute. Is Steve Gottschalk right there. I say Gottschalk, but it's actually Gottschalk, something like that. Harrison can say it better than I can. But he got that 91 Nerf machine. It looks like that's a nice little paint job he's got on that thing, by the way.
It definitely is. I'm looking at it right now. It's got a neon color to it. He's definitely sporting it out there with about a 0.6 of a second lead right now with Brett McBride in second. Excuse me, y'all. Y'all gonna have to give me a few laps to get used to some of these names. So if I messed your name up, I'm sorry. My first race here, but we'll get it before the race is over.
Yeah, I got lucky. I actually got to do the end of their Xfinity series last season on the Monday night, so I got familiar with some of the names like Rick McBride, E.J. O'Rourke, and Pescarella, and some of those. Some of the guys have been back here. Well, there's actually a single file all the way up here. We've got to go all the way back here to, let's see, back there to the, looks like 89 or the 99. Glenn Campbell and Chris Caboo. We've heard that name before.
Yes, we have. Is there a 2x2? They're all stacked, 2x2, running around, trying to find a line that can work. And what I'm noticing right now is that 74 of Michael Guest, I've been seeing him make passes on the high side, the low side, and the middle side. It looks like he's able to take that truck anywhere he wants it to.
Yeah, anywhere he feels he needs to. Coming through the field. He's coming through the field, and right now, got to find him.
In the 23rd position.
23rd, okay. Yeah, all right, he's 23rd. Got all these trucks out here, man, I tell you. Whew, it's a good looking paint job, by the way.
They are. A lot of these drivers are sporting them out here, and I'm really liking it. But we've got the number 48 of Pedro Omega. He almost gets into the 77 of James Pescarella, but luckily he's able to avoid him, and they're still going as they're halfway down the backstretch.
Well, Pedro right there, guys call it the Mega Machine. Man comes out here. He has one speed, wide open. He definitely wants to get it done. But what we're going to start seeing, we're at lap 10 of 120 here. I'll probably be saying about the next 5 or 7 laps. Excuse me. You're going to start seeing those tires come into play. And that down low and up high, you're going to start seeing the thing push just a little bit. Maybe start getting that push loose feeling to them.
Yeah, you definitely are, and as I'm noticing too, some of these drivers, I'm watching their tail end is trying to whip around on them, so that tells me that the track is really, really loose right now, but maybe as the run goes on, maybe it'll tighten up.
Yeah, and also, this is a, kind of a momentum style track, kind of reminds you, because you go into the turn, if you have to crack that throttle or tap the brake just a little bit, it can send you back. You can lose a couple positions.
Yeah, you definitely can, and I really haven't drove the trucks that much around here, but I've definitely drove the Xfinity cars, and one thing you can do on those Xfinity cars, when you get in the middle of that turn, if you lay down on the throttle, it gives it that bite. What I mean by that, it makes it bite, and it makes it dig into the corner, and you're able to get that run on exit.
There you go. Yeah, I was more with trucks here, but like I say, it's been about a year or so. Definitely the dynamics and all that have changed. So up front, you still got Steve out there. There's pretty much single file all the way back here. Kind of one of them things here at Kentucky. Don't want to get in too much, side-by-side racing because you will tear the tires up here. As old Michael Guest, he's up to 23rd. kind of leveling off right now, but he's trying to take them one by one as steady as he can. Don't want to tear his tires up. That's what I was telling you about that 74. He'll be patient coming through the field.
You're definitely right. We've been paying attention to him. Yeah, he's still stuck there in traffic, but like you said, it looks like he's picking them off one by one, just trying to take it easy, not get any damage, and still save those tires.
Yeah, and another one right there behind him, Chad Cole. Keep an eye on him. Man knows how to wheel these things around. Also, he'll bring it up here. Boy, oh man, the 74 Michael Guest right there got pinched up just a little bit by Mint. I guess that's how you say it.
Yeah, and that tells me right now is that when I'm looking at Michael Guest, it looked like his truck just tightened up in the middle of the corner, and they might have used too much tire wear in the first part of this run, and it might be affecting him.
Yeah, he's just going to have to be careful and be mindful of how he wants to make those passes. Staying down low like that, it's going to tighten that truck up coming in a turn. Obviously, you can use the kind of low to middle line. He makes the pass right there on Milt as he comes off, but he needs that truck to be able to kind of slide up the track coming out of the turn, because if you hold it down, you can get very, very loose. Now, 3 and 4, a little bit different. You actually can let that thing drift up kind of through the middle of the turn all the way up. So he is actually now battling on with Jonathan Lockhart.
Yeah, with this track right here, yeah, it's a mile and a half, but it's not like any other mile and a half these drivers go to. It's really different in the way the banking is kind of less than other tracks, and actually on a longer run, you can actually use your brake and use less brake bias, which means a more negative number, and it'll give that truck that bite I've been talking about.
Yep. You're right. This is way different of a mile and a half than anything that we go to, and I really like this place. There's Mike Kelly, got the Tonka machine. He'll bring that thing up to the front. Started 15th. Right now he's sitting in 13th spot. He wheeled it around Chad Coleman right there. In the front of them, you got Bobby Wetzel along with Thomas George right there that goes side by side coming out. Running in, the man's got Red Bull, got wings. I call him Scott Smiley. But, oh, and the 9's in the wall.
Yeah, I was just noticing that Bobby Wetzel looks like he was coming off a 2 and just gave it a little bit too much throttle, and it got up into the wall, but luckily everyone was able to check up behind him, and he was able to avoid a wreck.
Yeah, it just looks like these trucksmen are just pushing coming out of the turn, and then when they push, you know and I know, once they push, they get to that point where they just snap loose too, because you're trying to give it so much wheel and so much throttle, and eventually it might grab, and boom, then you go around, and you're right up there in that wall before you know it. But you're already flirting with disaster coming out of these turns.
You definitely are, Joe, and we're about to have a battle for the lead as Rhett McBride. He's been able to catch Steve Gottschalk, and he's able to close that gap to about 1/10.
Yeah, it looks like we're about to have about 4 truck battle up here with that too, because you got E.J. O'Rourke closing in along with Bobby Terrell, along with the muscle machine right there. Muscle milk, that is. Hey, man's got to keep strong bones with tough muscles.
Yeah, who's going to hope there's some strong chassis and strong reinforcement of that car as he's coming to the front.
No doubt about it. Steve up front got the Nerf machine, and old Rick McBride at 78 behind him. Looking good so far. He's closing the gap in there. He's been able to lead. We're coming across the line. Be lap 20 here, 120 in the books. As they're out there, it's a good race so far. But again, this is what we're going to see. Guys now who's starting to tire wear, who manage their tires, are the ones that are starting to come to the front. We're seeing Rick right now work over old Steve up front.
Yeah, and I'm wondering if Steve, we saw him get to about a 6 or 7 tenth lead. I'm wondering if he just used up too much tire wear as the 78 of Brett McBride goes to the bottom side, and it looks like he's going to be able to clear him. As I say that, the 91 still battling back on that high side.
Yeah, it is. There's the 91 on the high side to come to the line drag race this time by. Looks like he might have got him just by inches. They head off into turn 1. They're still going to go side by side. Looks like Rex is going to make that pass going in. It's going to bring E.J. O'Rourke along to the party here in the second place there. As you also got Bobby Terrell and Jose Gonzalez. Kind of Speedy Gonzalez. Better watch out. He definitely got some speed.
He is. He's in that 5th position, and he's going to look to capitalize on these drivers battling right now. Is Steve Gunstock. Looks like he's just kind of trying to hold on, minimize the damage until he can get a pit stop and get 4 fresh tires on it.
Yeah, and the pit cycle here is probably going to be about 30, 35 laps, I'm going to say, with tires. They might be able to push it about 40. But if my memory serves me right here, you're going to be about 30 to 35 laps. You're going to want to start screaming for tires. The official races, I believe, here are about 25, 30 laps. And by the end, you could go that entire time without tires. And I'm going to tell you what, Davis, you're going to be on some ice skates.
You're absolutely right, Joe. And as you talk about that, the thing these drivers can do is they can early pit and short pit, and that'll give them a lead. But then as the run goes on, the drivers that pitted later than they did, they'll be able to catch them. But their best hope would be to short pit and then get a caution. That way they're able to stay up front and be on the same pit cycle.
Yep, no doubt. Looks like Steve right there, he's just suffering from his tires, maybe just giving up on it just a little bit here in the longer run. Might have more of a short run, benefit him as the run goes on. He might be one that want to get out there and maybe short pit this thing and see what happens. As he's falling back a little bit. He's back in the 6th spot. Man up front, Rick McBride right there. Pedro Omega still at 8. Kevin Pearson, he's right there in 9th. Now he's in a good battle along with the 57 machine there. And Nicholas Cohan's, they'll go door to door along with it with Mike Kelly and company.
Yeah, and they're 2x2 stacked 2 deep behind there. And you got the number 9057 of Nicholas Cohan. He's on the bottom side. Looks like he's going to be able to clear the 10. And now the number 2 is going to look to capitalize on it.
No doubt about it. We're real quick right now. Don't usually like saying things like this, but hey, we want to appreciate, man, well, I do like saying things like this, but I want to appreciate all the viewers. I want to appreciate all the leagues and the drivers out there. Y'all made the goal possible, man. Like I say, a year for OSR Network to be December the 1st. We did hit the 900 subscriber mark, and it's all because of the people out there watching here tonight. I do appreciate that. If it's your first time watching, hit a sub again there, and definitely if you like what you see, hit a like, hit a share, and don't like what you see, oh well, obviously there's a dislike button too. I mean, I don't know why you're here, but hey, either way, that's cool. Right now, good battle going on with the 10th car right there. Kevin Pearson making waves there on Chad Colton.
Yes, and they're all stacked up behind them. You got to wonder if they're just holding that pack up a little bit. But as this pack is stacked up, a guy that is looking right on the outside trying to get in the mix of it is Michael Guess. He's made his way to the 18th position, and he's just steadily kicking them off one by one.
You know, and I talked about it here in the pre-race here before we got started during qualifying, Davis, that you've got to have two things. You've got to have massive confidence, one, in your ability and your truck. Two, you got to have confidence in the lead. And to watch this right now, let me ask you, would you want to start 35th and come from the back to the front? Would you have? I wouldn't, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, Joe, as you say that they're 3 wide, and that just reassured my answer. That's going to be a firm no. And it's the number 51. He's getting loose on coming out of 2, but he's able to save it, and that could have been disastrous.
Yeah, I saw that, man. He caught that apron right there in his front wheel, did a good drift, held on to it. That's Justin Fuller. Now, Justin Fuller, I call him the popcorn machine up there. He's actually, he's got 1 win here this season. I have to go back on my record books and look. But he's done very well. One that's usually up front. Maybe this track's not serving him at the best out here. We were talking about Michael Guess, he made the 17th spot. Now he's going to run up on some trucks right here. Brian Boris Cook, and that's the guy I've been telling you about there, Davis. That's one of he's a social media guy for Joe Gibbs, so it's kind of cool to have that out here. But Michael Guest is going to run up on some guys up here. It's battling pretty good. Glenn Campbell, Scott Simley, Kevin Pearson. All them guys up are battling it out.
Yeah, you're right, Joe. They are, and that's pretty cool that we've got some actual NASCAR people in this league, and that's pretty cool. Hey, how many times can you say you race with Joe Gibbs, social media person? Yeah,
no doubt about it, man. It's awesome, man, to see right now the 2x2 as they're looking like that he's got his Jurassic Park machine out there, the 63 Brian Boris does. He's got that thing out there growling at everybody. Glenn Campbell in the front, they are still stacked up side by side. Michael's going to be very careful here. I'm going to tell you, like again, I go back 3 wide though right there. Boy, Brian, he thought better of it, backed out of it.
He did. The 63 of Brian, he backed out of it. In the 74, you're right, he's got to be really careful right here. But he's caught the middle of the stack, and this is where we've seen the 51. You got low on the low side of 1 and 2 and spun it out, which could have been disastrous. But hey, look at the 74 of Michael Guest. No one told him that. He's just keeping on gunning it.
There he is. Look at that close, man, contact between the 10 and the 51s. We look out the hood of Brian here. Boy, they got close coming out there as they pushed up right there. Wow, 74 Michael, he makes the pass. 51 of Justin Fuller goes on the inside the 10. They'll come to the line. Boy, they get very, very close. Inches upon inches. I just gotta, man, as I watch this kind of racing, Davis, I look and I go, how many times have I seen guys make moves like that and end up just being disastrous?
You're absolutely right, Joe. And these drivers are somehow able to hold on to it and still able to keep it green. But what I was noticing right there, I think the 10 of Kevin Pearson, I think he was holding that pack up because we've seen him at the front of the pack, then in the middle, and and people were trying to get around him but just couldn't. But as they finally all got around him, we're going to see here if the 10 can fight back or if he's just got a little bit too much tire wear.
Yeah, tire wear, like I say, it's coming back. We're at lap 32. We should start seeing green flag pit stops here within the next probably 5 or so laps, and so it should be cool.
Yeah, you're right, Joe. And like you were saying about the league too, but yeah, I would not want to start from the back, but the confidence, and like you said, the confidence of the league to have this many people out here and this close racing, and we're still green flag. We're on a 32 lap run. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Well, I tell you what, it's definitely it's a good one so far. Chad Cole right there in the 19th spot. Like I said, we got all these other trucks up here, nose to tail. Brian Boris right there, Justin Fuller, Michael Guest in the mix. And all those guys, man, are there. They are just nose to tail, single file line here. And hey, I tell you what, let's do this. The Blimpy Cam. Everybody likes Blimpy. You like Blimpy, David?
Oh, hey, I love the Blimpy Cam. I was saying earlier, I'm going to make me a Blimpy Cam paint job.
That's right. Everybody needs Blimpy, man. I tell you, Blimpy's good. And look at that. Justin Fuller made the pass on Michael. And that's how easy it is here. Is tire wear will become a factor later on here as we go up front. We're looking through this field. And one thing I do like about the Blimpy Cam here, it gives you a good idea of what the whole facility looks like. Plus, kind of let's see the distance between all these trucks.
Yeah, it absolutely does. And for it being a 30-lap run, I mean, heck, there's 21 drivers that are within still 10 seconds of the leader. That's how competitive and how close the competition is out here.
Absolutely, yeah, that's right. If you look at the actual times from the leader all the way from 30th position, everybody's in the 33 seconds. So it's 33-1 for the leader, and the 30th place guy ran a 33.5. So, wow.
And Joe, you were talking about the 51 of Justin Fuller. That was the guy that spun out in 1 and 2, but he was able to regain control. And hey, that's the driver we've got to keep an eye on. For him to spin out, overheat his tires like that, and still battle back and show the speed, he's going to be a driver to reckon with by the end of this race.
Well, you know, he's been up front several times. Definitely, he's been able to put this thing up there. Nicholas Cohan still running fourth. Rick McBride still out front. He's got a 1.6 second lead. Bobby Terrell right there in second. Byron Daly right there in third. Nicholas Cohan fourth. Jose Gonzalez, and as I say that, 57 makes the pass right there on Brian as they go around. Like I said, we should start seeing green flag stops happen here soon as Rick gets way high up in the turn. But you're right, Justin Fuller, I mean, I call him the popcorn machine out there. He's up to 14th already. He definitely, now, he can give Michael Guest a run for his money. Another one out here that's not out here, that I hate's not out here, that's old Malik Ray, not out here tonight. He's won himself here in this series, and actually he's a past champ here in the Sim500 series, but not out here tonight. Don't know, might have had some family things had come up and whatnot.
Oh yeah, I've actually raced with him in the official races too, so that's definitely a shame that he's not here. In the 51, he gets really tight on the exit and almost hits the 99, but checks up, but that's going to allow the 74 of Michael Guest and the 63 of Brian Cook to catch him on there and see if they can get a run going into 1 and 2.
Yeah, just got to be very careful. Like I say, at this point, tires are becoming very treacherous. And you see Michael Guest come out of the turn. Wow, that's what I was telling you about, Davis. You can't hold it down the inside with the tire wear like they are, or that thing will snap loose.
And that's something you don't see very often is the 74 Michael Guest make a mistake, and it's a 77 James Pescarelli. He's going to be the first person to start the green flag pit stop. All
right, good deal. Green flag stops underway. I got a feeling we're going to see more follow suit here as everybody's going to come on down. Justin Fuller on the inside of Brian Boris right there, and we saw him actually almost lose it coming out of the turn. Just got to be very careful. I mean, this is a tricky. I like Kentucky. I like the fact that most of the time we see Kentucky at night, which makes the track kind of tight at that point.
Yeah, it's definitely really cool to see these drivers out here during the day. Like I said, the whole swarm of them going down pit road. But like I said, it's really cool to see these drivers. 105-degree track temp is going to make it very slippery.
Yes, it is. Battle right here. Justin Fuller on the inside there. The man on the outside, the Glenn Campbell, is going to try to make it work. It's going to bring the 63 on the high side, though, as they'll go door to door. They'll come around down the back stretch here. He's going to be able to make that pass heading into turn 3. We'll see. The low line will hold up. You're probably going to have to scoot up the track just a little bit. That truck's going to want to slide up there and push. He does. I mean, you can already see that rear end just wanting to slightly come out from under him.
Ken, I'm really surprised none of these drivers have elected to go down pit stop. We've seen a whole swarm of them the lap before as they're exiting pit road now. But I guarantee you we're probably going to see them either this lap or the next lap.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you're lap 41. It's impressive they've taken it this far. I would have thought lap maybe 35, 32, but 41 here, yeah, they've been able to bring it out. Michael Guest on the inside of 99 of Glenn Campbell for a battle right there. Nicholas Cohan takes on point up top. He's got Jose Gonzalez right there in second, Mike Kelly in third, Scott Simley in fourth, Justin Full in him. So we're seeing these guys come in front because everybody's basically rotating around to the green flags pit stops.
Yeah, we are, and then we'll see them give it about 5 or 10 laps until everyone makes the pit stop, and everything will cycle through. It'll be interesting to see who's going to come out with the lead. So I'm not 100% sure who might have short pitted by a lap or two, but we'll definitely find out here shortly.
Yeah, no doubt about it. This guy's been looking good. Whoa! I'll tell you what, the 25 there, he almost ran up on the back end of him. Well, that was close right there. Now, he's got new tires, and he ran up on those guys. There's where you got to be careful. And you got new tires, and the older guys up there, like Glenn Campbell, who went way high on the track there, Davis, and 25, Chris Cabot, nowhere to go. He's got a closer, and we're in a caution for the first time here.
Yeah, Joe, this is not going to be good for these drivers that decided to pit. Is this going to put them back? They're going to have to take the wave around, but it's definitely going to make it interesting. Yeah,
no doubt about it. Oh, looks like James Pescarella is involved in it, the number 77. Let's go back one more time here. Let the viewers, man, we went a long green flag run, 44 laps there. As we're watching here, just see what happened on this incident. The 77 there, James Pescarella, he's got the 48, looks like a 40. Oh, yeah, they just got together, came out of the turn, bumped each other, and just spun it out down the front stretch. Just one of those racing deals. Ran out of real estate.
Yeah, it definitely looks like that's the case here, is they just ran out of real estate, just fighting really hard, and unfortunately, they caught the better end of them.
Yeah, no doubt. Wow. Well, what do you think so far, Davis?
I mean, I'm really shocked at the way these drivers are racing 3, sometimes even 4 wide on a long green flag run with tires that are that bad. And they're able to keep it for 43, 42 laps on your green. That's really impressive, Joe.
Yeah, no doubt. Let's see if there he is. So we'll bring up old Nicholas Cohan up here. Get a word in with him. All right. Nicholas Cohan, Joe White in the booth. Got a copy?
Copy.
All right, Nick, I tell you what, looking good in that 57. Got a little break right there on that caution. How's the truck and how's the track feeling?
Really good. Didn't get much practice, but really took care of the tires there and just found something that worked there, and really looked felt good there. So I'm just gonna keep working on it, see what we can do, and just try and stay alive here. Still got a long way to go yet, so.
Well, I tell you, it was a good long green flag run right there. Got to fill out the track and whatnot. Is the track tight, loose? I mean, what are y'all feeling out there in the truck?
The answer is yes. It's pretty tight in the center, but then loose off. So you gotta be real careful with the throttle, and I think that's the key to taking care of your tires here too. The Loud Pedal Motorsports Toyota Tundra is really hooked up here tonight, so I think we got a good chance at it. So we'll keep digging here and see what we can do.
All right, good deal. It's always good to hear a guy on a virtual sim giving out of breath while he's racing the car and truck.
Yeah, it was a handful there, man. It was fun, but like I said, got a long way to go yet here, so gotta take care of it.
Good deal. Well, good luck out there, Nick.
Thank you.
All right, well, that's Nick, so we can get him back down there. There's a Steel Horse Racing down there. Jonathan Cottle and company down there. If you never saw Steel Horse Racing, check them out on Twitch, Steel Horse Racing TV. Jonathan Cottle, man, I tell you what, he's a trip. Man, loves beer and loves racing.
Hey, those are my 2 favorite things. Beer, racing, and I got one more. That's women. So beer, racing, and women.
Oh, hello. Stay away from the women. They're bad for you.
Oh yeah, I've learned my lessons, trust me, Joe. But yeah, to change the subject, Nicholas Cole on that 57, you're right, he sounded out of breath, and from what I was hearing, it just sounded like those trucks are just a handful. They're tight, loose, they really don't know what to do. The track's always changing, tires are always giving them problems. So I think we're going to see some really good, we've already seen some good racing, but I think it's going to get even more down to the nitty-gritty as we get closer here to the finish.
Well, you know, even with that long green flag run, they didn't get separated a lot here. They went single file, obviously, but they the pack didn't get separated as much as what we normally would see. But what he's talking about out there, folks, like me and Davis understands, going into the turn looks like it's probably getting very tight, which caused them to let off the throttle, obviously maybe tap the brake a little bit and put more wheel input into the truck. Problem is, when you come off the turn, you got to make up somehow because you think you're going so slow, you mash down on that gas, and it can make it a loose feeling coming right off that turn. And that's where the fine line, you got to be delicate to know how far you can push that thing going in and out of the turn.
Yeah, you're definitely right, Joe. And as you say that, I lost my train of thought. I'm sorry. Yeah, as you say that, yeah, it sounds like they just got their hands full with it, and it's just really hard to get it under control and just find a line that's actually able to work and is able to stabilize on the long run.
All right, well, good deal. Definitely out front, Nicholas Cohan. He's running wild out there right now, and it was kind of unique, though. I mean, folks, we are on a virtual set here. Well, let me tell you, if you've ever run a long race or anything like that, wheeling around a sim rig can get tiring on your arms and whatnot. Can for me, anyways. But I've raced 3 and 4 hour races before, so here we go. Going green flag racing here. Nicholas Cohan out front, got Jose Gonzalez up top there. Brian Boers cooking the mix. Mike killing the Tonka machine. And look who's right there in 5th place. Hang on, pace car's in. Green flag's about to fly. Going to be lap 48 in the books here, 120 when they cross the line. Nicholas gets a good jump to head off into turn 1. They're going to be side by side. Jose's on the outside. Mike Kelly's on the inside. Michael Guest opts to go up high. The 3 and 2 wide all the way back.
And as they're 2x2, the number two of Mike Kelly, he's on the bottom side of Jose Gonzalez, but Jose Gonzalez is going to get that run on the high side going into 3 and 4, and they're going to even up with him right here.
Yeah, they are. Jose's going to come on the high side of the Tonka machine there. Mike Kelly try to power that move on the outside. The 2 as they come across the line. They head off. It's going to be lap 49. We're almost getting to click the lap 50 right here. Mike's probably going to sit back there and be very careful. Behind him, Scott Simley. I call him Smiley. The man smiling up in Cool Breeze because he's sitting in 6th. Kevin Pearson right there in 7th. Oh, KC Duncan, he's moved it up in 8th. Jonathan Lockhart 9th. And Michael Prester. I'm going to say Prester. Probably not right, but I'll say it that way. He's in 10th.
And Joe, I don't know if you caught that, but the 2 of Mike Kelly, when he went on the bottom of Jose Gonzalez, he got really loose, and it checked up the entire field behind him as he was drifting around turn 2.
Holy cow. Well, I was wondering why everybody now behind him's up by 2x2 right now, stacked up. Got Scott Simley, Kevin Pearson and company right there. They'll door to door coming out of turn number 2 down the back stretch as they storm off down there, and a bunch of horses. Yeah, we're in Kentucky, folks, but we're not doing the Kentucky Derby. We're doing the Sim500 Monday Night Money Winter Series here in the trucks. That's the kind of horsepower we're bringing to the company. Oh, look at the Pepsi machine there, the 4. He got up there and just scraped the wall.
He did, but he's able to keep it going. He's able to keep his momentum up here, and I see the number. I can't see who that was. It was a white truck. He got into the wall as well. That's the number 6 of Jonathan Lockhart. Oh
wow, he's got a Pepsi machine out there too. So you got to watch out. They're 3 wide behind him. Hold on to it. Justin Fuller right there. He goes on the inside. They're still 3 wide. Davis coming out of the turn. Well, they do that now. They're still going to take it 3 wide even again. Well, Justin Fuller, he's on the move.
Yes, we've seen him get some momentum on that last green flag run, and he's proven it here as he takes it 3 wide, and he's able to clear all 2 of them. There's still 3 wide behind him, so the 14's going to look to capitalize.
Yeah, it is 3 wide. Boy, I don't know how long they can put that up, but they coming out of turn 2, 3 wides. They head down the back stretch. There's 3 wide, 2 wide still right there. The 14, Rick McBride gives a little push to the 6 right there. Says, hey, all right behind you. Here comes the 8 of Chad Cole in the mix. Well, they are racing up. Look at the move Rick McBride's doing. Putting it in the middle. He's the meat in the middle of the sandwich right there, and he is baking his stick.
Joe, they're 4 wide behind him.
Holy cow. Well, these guys, man, are racing all over the place here. Did you think this is what they were going to do at lap 53 of 120?
I did not, Joe, but I think a big thing that's caused it is we almost got a wreck back there with the 5 and the 7 truck was with it. What I think is causing this is because when they had that spring flag runs, it caught him mid-pit stop, and we've seen the 78 out there leading 10, 20 laps, and now he's back up there in the back, and he's having to fight his way through the field.
Yeah, it is. Phenomenal battles going on throughout this whole entire field. Brian Daly right there got his hands full with Bobby Terrell as Bobby pushes on the inside, trying to take that spot away. Can't go too far. Well, these guys definitely picked the pace up. And here's the thing, we talked about it, no fast fixes here. These guys have got to be mindful. You tear these trucks up, guess what? You're one and done here. It's almost like real. But these guys out here still does not deter them from out here racing hard.
It doesn't. Now, number 6 is Jonathan Lockhart. We've seen him get in the wall, and I don't know if that just affected him really bad. And he's got some damage that he can't shake off, but he is just falling back in the field as he's all the way back in the 18th position.
He's got some damage on that right side. Looks like on that fender. Might be hurting him, like you said. E.J. O'Rourke, another one, got marred back in traffic back there in the 22nd, trying to bring it up front. Our pole center, Steve Gottschalk, he's back there in the back in the mix, too. So some of these guys got caught back. I think they had to do waiver rounds, didn't they?
Yeah, they did, and it depends when they pitted. If they were one of the first cars to pit, then they weren't, then that's really going to affect them. When you take the waiver round, you can't go down pit road and get fresh tires. So I think they're going to hope for a caution here pretty soon. That way everyone can get on the same pit cycle.
Well, I tell you what, man, hoping for a caution here. If it goes long, green flag run could be disastrous on their end. But then again, might not be too bad because they were right there on the green flag cycle when that caution came out. So it might be a good thing because they were able to go in and get tires. They might be, what about, I don't know, if anything, 5 laps off or something. But they're 3 wide behind them.
They are. They're still battling. There's battles all over this track, Joe, and I cannot believe these drivers are keeping it under green flag conditions without spinning out and wrecking each other. This is unbelievable. It shows how competitive and close these guys are.
Yeah, no doubt. Very skilled and very good drivers. Up front, Jose Gonzalez, Colin Speedy Gonzalez, took it to the point over Nicholas Cohan. Mike Kelly in the Tonka machine behind him. Michael Guest right there lurking in the wind. He's definitely there in fourth. Brian Boris Cook rounds in the 5th place spot. Scott Simley. First time I ever saw his name, Davis, I mispronounced it. I said, it looks like Smiley if you look at it real quick.
Yeah, I looked at it real quick, and I thought it said Smiley as well, so you weren't the only one to make that mistake.
Yeah, no. Hey, but the one thing is, he's sitting in 6th place right now, and he's definitely smiling up a cool breeze. Kevin Pearson there in 7th. Pedro, man, he's moved it up into 8th. Casey Duncan 9th. And Michael right there sitting in the top 10. They kind of spread out a little bit. Not really spread out, but they're all single file, nose to tail up front. You go back there to that mix of them right there with Bobby Terrell, Chad Coleman and company. There's where a lot of the fighting and battling's going on.
It is, and that 7-gate of Rhett McBride, he was able to get past them, and he's just gunning to the front. He's already in the 13th position.
Wow. Rick McBride definitely wanting to turn the wick up here earlier on, or kind of midway here in the races. To come across the line, it's going to be halfway to go here, folks. It'll be lap 60 of 120 here. Will be in the books. Bobby Terrell's trying to work over Nathan Bowers right there to get that spot away for the 15th spot. Chad Coleman right there behind him. And Thomas George, he's another one up there. So just kind of look through it. E.J. O'Rourke. E.J. O'Rourke's still in the 19th spot along with Steve.
Oh, and Joe, go back and look at the 78 as he went to the bottom to take that 2nd spot from the number 2 of Mike Kelly. And they touched going into the corner, and the 74 got all out of control, but was still able to keep that thing straight.
All right. We'll see if we can go back on the replay and see if we can get a shot of that one. He went up underneath the 9 machine?
He went up between the 2 machine of Mike Kelly.
2 machine. So I might have went back a little further. 2. go back far enough. Oh well. Anyway.
Either way, they're still battling it out. He was still able to control that thing, and he's able to get in the third position. He lost some ground to the number 2 of Mike Kelly. But he's looking to regain, try to pull those tires off. When you spin out like that, it puts a lot of heat on those tires. So you got to give it a few laps, kind of ease back there, and let them cool down before you start making another move up to the front.
Yeah, no doubt about it. You definitely want to be mindful of the guys up front and whatnot of what's going on around here. These guys are putting down some good blistering pace. I mean, it's still running 32-second times, 31 seconds around this track. I think they're being a little bit more cautious and careful as the race goes on. Now, here's one thing I love seeing. I don't know about you, Davis, but if you watch in the turns throughout the race, it starts to turn darker. The rubber gets laid down. They're going to have to start finding different grooves. But throughout the race, I think it's just a cool effect to see. If you don't really watch it, you don't really notice it. But if you watch the beginning of the race and then watch halfway and on through the whole entire race, you'll see the turns. They'll start laying down the rubber and they'll start darkening up. It's kind of one of those, it's just a cool effect to watch.
It is, and it's just one of those awesome things that iRacing has done and put in this server is they've really nailed down the dynamic track. And as a driver, when you get out there, you got to find different ways to get around the track because it really does affect you. And if you're just stay in your same line, you're going to keep falling through the pack, and you're definitely not going to win it.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, Brian Boris right there, he's looking good, still in the 5th place spot. Pedro Megas moved up into 6th. He's trying to bring that 48 battle behind him. Nicholas Cohan, he's got a little damage on that front right corner there. Might have got the wall up there. It's kind of hindering just a little bit. He's got old KC Duncan making a pass on him there. Glenn Campbell's behind him. Justin Fuller, you were talking about it there, Davis. He's moved it up into 10th already.
Yes, he has. And yeah, like you said, Nicholas Cohan, we saw him restart the race in the first position, but yeah, that damage could be hindering him and affecting him. Looks like he's got quite a bit of damage on that right side fender.
He does. He's trying to look on the inside there of Glenn Campbell, KC Duncan right there. Try to make that pass on the spot, see if we can't get it on the inside. Can't get it done yet. Well, he's got Glenn Campbell closing in very fast, but Justin Fuller's going to look on the inside of him. They're going to make it side by side. He thought about it. He might think about it coming down in turn 3.
And I think if Justin Fuller, if he can catch a break and get on the same set of tires as these other drivers, and if we get a restart here before this race is over, he's definitely going to be a guy to be reckoned with, and he's going to find himself up at the front.
Yeah, no doubt. Look at that, Justin Fuller all over it. Yeah, on the right side, we can see a good shot right there from that angle on Nicholas Cohan's kind of crunched up just a little bit. And old Justin Fuller, he's trying to work over him. Actually, Glenn Campbell is trying to work over him, and he's got his hands full, though, with Justin Fuller on the inside.
Yeah, he's going to look to bringing that popcorn machine to the front. But then again, we see Jose Gonzalez took that lead out to about 0.8 of a second. Michael Guest, after he had that near wreck with the 2, he just hasn't been able to catch him again.
Well, you know, one thing about Michael is if he sees that he's in trouble a little bit, he'll be very, very careful. We know another driver that pretty much drives that way, kind of very good. He sees he's in trouble. He'll take his time, be patient about it, don't want to rush things. Justin Fuller makes that pass on Glenn Campbell right there. So you got to be careful here because this track, tires, man, are the thing. You tear your tires up, you're almost done.
Joe, and I'm looking at the right side of the 74. Michael Guest looks like he's just got a tiny bit of damage, and I think it might have been that contact with the number 2 of Mike Kelly we were talking about earlier.
And that could affect him just a little bit. We don't know right off. I mean, definitely something we'll have to keep an eye on him. He's definitely got some speed to stay up front. I'll tell you what, Justin Fuller moving it up there in the 9th place. Glenn Campbell right there. Justin goes on the inside there. Nicholas Cohan try to make that spot. He's the man on the move right now.
He really is. He's been battling his way up through the field. Looks like he got a little tight on the corner in the middle of 3 and 4, but he was still able to complete the pass on the 57 of Nicholas Cohan.
Yes, he did. Made that pass, made it clear right there. Up to 8th spot. Looking to try to go run down KC Duncan right there. And that number 4 machine that he's got, well, those guys right behind him are all nose to tail. Rick McBride almost tapped a wall coming out of the turn. That thing pushed up high and wide.
Yeah, and the 78, Rick McBride, we know he's got some speed. He's just got to be careful, show a little bit of patience here as these laps start to wind down. And if he is, I think he's going to be another one that's going to be up in the front because we already seen him there earlier in this race with that first green flag run.
Yes, we are. Right there, sitting in 10th spot. He makes the pass on Nicholas Cohead. Got a feeling that damage is kind of hindering him all too much right now. As old Pedro's sitting in there. Brian Boris Cook sitting in 5th. Scott Simley. As I say that now, Brian Boris looks on the inside. Can't quite get there. The nose down there. Michael Guest definitely is holding his own there in 3rd. I mean, and here's the thing, too, Davis. I know I've talked about this league many times here, the Sim500 Monday Night Money Winter Series, and the drivers they have. Not only Michael Guest, I mean, obviously we know who he is, but the skill of a lot of these other drivers, I mean, it's phenomenal here.
It definitely is, and they're showcasing that skill tonight as we see all of these drivers. The top 19 are within 10 seconds of each other.
Wow. Yeah, that's awesome. Actually, I mean a 10th, right?
On the track.
10 seconds.
Yeah, well, on the track. On the track, the leader's got a 10-second lead over 19th.
Okay. There you go.
But like I said, with the 10th too, these drivers, they're within about a 10th or 2/10 of each other on lap time every single lap.
True. There, it's close. I mean, Jose Gonzalez up there. Now, watching Michael Guest, he's slowly but surely trying to work his way back up. He understands tire wear is definitely a factor at this track. You can't just go up there and bully your way to the front. I mean, you'll just tear the tires up here, and then you won't have anything at the end. So he's going to try to get up there. He's going to try to see if he can't get near Mike Kelly and try to pass him. I mean, he's just calculated. But then again, here's the thing too, Davis. He's not going to do anything with that truck to tear it up and risk him having a good points night or anything.
He's definitely not. And as I'm looking at his times, he's running the fastest times on the track. He just ran a 32.864. The leader ran a 33.084.
Absolutely, definitely got some bad fast times, and he's crawling all over the back end there. The number 2 machine there, Mike Kelly, man, got Tonka out. Well, as I say that, he goes on the inside. Can he make it stick enough to make the pass? He does. Powered that thing around, but it pushes almost coming out of the turn. That's what we were talking about. The 2, he's able to hold on to it. The 74, Michael was, and the 2 wasn't able to capitalize on that slight push. Man, I tell you, that was just a power move on the inside.
It's like a slide job in the dirt racing, but hey, he got past the 2 with Mike Kelly. We're going to be seeing a battle here for the lead with Jose Gonzalez and Michael Guest for the next 5 or 6 laps.
Absolutely. Well, Jose was able to make a little faster time that way because Michael had to make the pass. As I say that, though, look at Mike Kelly, though. He's going to look back on the inside. He says, not so fast there, my man. I got a Tonka machine here. I want to bring it to the front. Behind them, Scott Simley and Brian Boris Cook slowly but surely are climbing up there. They'd love to see them get up there and battle a little bit, and that'd bring them up into the mix.
Yeah, they're going to be looking to capitalize on this battle right here and see if they can find their way up to the front as well. They're less than 2 seconds off of the leader.
That's right. They're definitely, they can use that as Brian's falling into tire tracks there. Scott Simley looking good so far up front. Let's take it behind him. Pedro Mega out there running in 6th. Nicholas Cohens fell in 7th. Clint Campbell in 8th. As they all kind of just a little bit spread out there. We got old Justin Fuller, though. He's coming up through the field. Now there's the number 10 machine. Michael Prester. He's on the outside. You got the 10 machine. Now, obviously, he is the first truck a lap down. And he's trying to hope for a caution or something like that so he can get back on the lead lap.
Yeah, he's definitely going to see if they can get a caution out here and able to capitalize and get his lap back. And we're probably, about 35, 36 laps on this run. So I think in about the next 10 laps or so, we're going to start seeing green flag pit stops again.
Yeah, and that's what we were talking about before. You know, a lot of those guys that got caught a lap down with that caution, it came right there as everybody was making green flag stops. If it would have happened, I don't know, 5, 8 laps past that point, yeah, it might have hurt a lot of those guys that got caught. But I think with the way the caution fell, it actually is probably about the perfect time for everybody.
Yep, and as I'm looking right now, it's like the Jose Gonzalez, he's going to give up that lead. He's going to go down pit road and he's coming out of 3 and 4.
Yep, definitely going to come down there and get him some 4 tires and fuel here and end this thing. Now this sets it up, 42 to go, 41 here to go and whatnot. they pretty much can go the entire distance once they make this one stop here. So that's definitely going to be a something you got to think about.
Yeah, and I think that's the smartest decision that 26 Jose Gonzalez could do. He realized that the second and third place were catching him and that it's time for falling off, so he elected to go down pit road. And now he's going to use that short pit, and he's going to be able to regain that lead once everything cycles through.
There you go. Definitely good psychology on that part right there as it puts Michael Guest out front. Here we go. Brian Boris Cook and company. He's coming down. He's got Steve Gottschalk right there along with him. Bobby Terrell's coming down the pit road. And everybody making their Pedro Omega coming along with him. Brings Justin Fuller up to the point. So green flag stops here again happening tonight. Folks, we only had one caution here tonight so far. 80 laps into 120. 4 lead changes, 1 caution. Very, very good professional style race going on out here. As you see Justin Fuller sitting in 7th. He's got his hands full right there with Thomas George. And Michael right there in the 9th place spot. Chad Coleman, he's trying to battle it out too.
Yeah, they are, and you're right, Joe. Some really clean professional racing here. Only had 1 caution, like you said, so far. And we've got about 40, 30-something, 38 laps left in this race.
Yes, we do, and that's one thing you got to keep in mind is now here's the thing: you got guys out here with new tires, you got guys out here with old tires. So you got to be very careful. As a guy with new tires, they're going to be a lot faster.
And that's what brought out that first caution we had of the night was the new tires and old tires, and they were mixed it up with each other, and unfortunately got into each other and brought the caution. So that's something to keep an eye on too as a lot laps start winding down.
Well, you got that closing rate going into the turn so much. You know, there's no fault of the driver or whatnot. You just got a closing rate of so fast, sometimes you just can't react quick enough. And then, you know what I know, boom, it's over.
Yeah, you're right, Joe. You're right. It can happen at any point and any time. These drivers got to be wary about it. You see the 78, he elects to go down pit road and get 4 fresh tires.
4 tires of fuel is going to be the name of the game here tonight. Definitely going to want all the tires you possibly can get. Ed Burrell right there, man in the 17 machine, back in 17th spot right now. Got his hands full with James Pescarella and Jonathan Lockhart there. They're all in a mix battling it out.
And they're still battling. Even though they're at the end of this green flag run, they're still battling it out, and they're not giving each other any room.
I think that you're going to see the new tires versus old. That 12 machine right there is on newer style tires. That's Joe Hudson, and he makes the pass. Look at the closing that he does right there on Brian Daly. And he's just able to get through the turns a lot better than him.
Yeah, you're right, Joe. And I'm trying to look over here. It was battling with him out. I don't know if that was the number 6 of James Lockhart. I'm wondering if he had some mechanical issues or something, because he took the long way around pit road and used the entry road going into 3.
I couldn't tell you. Maybe he thinks he had to use the entry road. I'm not sure. I know some guys, man, think that they have to use it here on this track, but I don't think you do. But, you know, we've only had 3 trucks retire from the race. Steve Minson, Braden Whitaker, and Milt. As only 3 that have retired from this race so far.
Yep, you're right. It's been a very competitive, close race so far.
Yep, we'll start with 35. We still got 32 out here so far running. And a very good races. These guys, man, are definitely in the middle of the green flag stops. A lot of these guys have already made them. I'm going to start seeing them cycle through here. I got a feeling you're probably going to eventually see the Jose Gonzalez. Yeah, he was up front. He's back in 15th right now. Had to find him.
Yeah, you got Glenn Campbell in 1st, Justin Fuller in 2nd, and Thomas George in 3rd. But we've got a battle for the lead up here, but these 2 drivers have not pitted yet.
Yeah, and I think they was the ones that stayed out on that last one and got caught with the caution and were able to stay there. So they'll probably come in the pits. They can stay out maybe at least another couple more laps. I mean, they're eventually going to have to come into the pits here and make their pit stop. They definitely are looking good. And here's one thing about that. All right, Jose came in with about 41, 42 to go. If Justin Fuller and Glenn Campbell and them come in the pits here, let's say in the next, I don't know, 2 laps, it's only going to be 31. They're going to have 10-lap newer tires. If they could place themselves just right, that might be big there at the end if it goes green flag.
Yeah, it just depends how good they are at managing tire wear and if they can just keep the consistency up through that run, because the difference between old tires and new tires is probably about a second, 1.2, 1.3 seconds. With fresher tires, you're going to be going that much faster. And the 51 goes on pit road, he overshot his pit box, and that's going to hurt him.
Oh, it's going to give him a killing a little bit time-wise right there. Hate to see that. Glenn Campbell still not come out the pits here. He's still hanging on to that top spot. So he's definitely looking to maybe try to run this thing and get as much as he possibly can out of the tires. Maybe he's thinking, maybe I can get a caution too.
Yeah, that's what he's going to be hoping for right now. It's just for a caution to come out, because he stayed out for a really long time. And by the time he goes down pit road and gets those 4 fresh tires, it's going to be hard to say if he's going to have enough time to get back up to the front.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Well, you just see right there, Bobby Terrell makes a pass on the leader to get back on the lead lap. You just see the difference between new tires and old tires.
Joe, look at the 78. He takes it 3 wide to get around drivers with old tires, and he's coming.
Yeah, he's way back there in the back with Chad Cole and company. And he's wanting to try to bring that thing up there, maybe to get his lead lap back the hard way. But he definitely going to have to be very careful. If he is, he can get in a wreck real quick.
It really can. As I'm looking out here, Joe, a lot of these drivers are still staying out, and they haven't pitted. I'd say probably about the top 10 or so. I think, yeah, about the 10th position, because you go back to the 11th position, it's Jose Gonzalez, and he was one of the first drivers to pit.
Yeah, I noticed that too. Don't know if that's by design, strategy, or what. You know, maybe they're hoping on a caution. Ooh, Brian Boris Cook ran up on the 0 there of Don Runkle.
Yeah, I was watching that too, Joe. He almost got in the back of him and hit him.
And that was a perfect example of what we're talking about. The closing rate is just so fast, sometimes you just don't have time to react.
Yep, you're absolutely right. And it's definitely going to be interesting to see how this thing plays out, as they've got about 28 laps left here. So I think these top 10 drivers are hoping for a caution, get them caught up, gain them some extra track position, and see if they can do anything with 4 fresh tires.
Yeah, no doubt. Looks like Tris Gaboo is going to come on down in pit road as old Jose Gonzalez moves by him. It's a 22-second gap, 21-second gap between Jose up to the leader, Thomas George, right now. As Glenn Campbell, I believe, is going to bring it down to the pit. 20-some seconds. I mean, obviously going to lose the lead on that because you're going to have 4 tires. Thing about it is, though, they're going to have a lot better tires at the end of this one. So it's going to be interesting to see how much time they lose. Actually, Justin Fuller's another one we're going to look at, as he now is probably sitting in the, you see him on the track? 22nd. There he is.
Yeah, 22nd, 23rd spot. But right now, the race right here is Jose Gonzalez, Mike Kelly, and Michael Guest. Those 3 drivers sitting 9th, 10th, 11th. Once everything straightens out, that's going to be the race for the win, and they are right on top of each other.
Yeah, it definitely would be. Now, if Justin Fuller can obviously get back on the lead lap the hard way, I mean, you know, that definitely would. If he can get around this track, don't abuse those tires. I mean, he could be there at the end, but I'm with you. Looks like Jose right there, Mike Kelly, Michael Guest, Pedro Mega in the mix, Scott Simley right there. So all 3 and 4 of those trucks are right there, kind of within each other, striking distance.
Well, Joe, as we say that, the number 26 of Jose Gonzalez, he ran at 32.4. Justin Fuller, the 51, he's got a lot fresher tires. He ran at 32.598.
Wow. That just goes to show you the difference in tire wear and the difference in speed.
There's a 0-0. He almost loses it coming out of 4, but he's able to gain it back under control, and that's the 0-0 Don Runkle Jr. Sorry if I messed that up.
That's all right. Don't feel bad. I'd mess it up too. Well, right here's where you get in the danger zone. The 26 on the inside of Brian Boris, as it's lap cars here. As man, it's a mess. 3 wide coming to the line. They're inside of Rick McBride. You got to be very careful. Those guys on new tires. good thing about the new tires is they make the pass, but look at Michael Guest. He's going to take it 3 wide out of the turn. He's going to say, look, I know this might be for the lead eventually, so I'm going to try to get around him the best I can.
He almost got around it, but that's also going to bring up the number 63 of Brandon Cook. Is it Cook? No, I'm sorry.
Brandon, what we looking at?
63.
Trying to find him on my.
Oh, Brian Cook. I'm sorry, Brian Cook, but he's still a lap down, and I could have swore he pitted with the lead lap cars or with the leaders.
Yeah, I don't know why he didn't. I mean, he's definitely off just a little bit. Brian Boris Cook right there in the 25th. Oh, Michael Guest almost into the wall, trying to come off the turn, but then he goes on, sweeps on the inside, and they touch going into the turn. Wow, boy, there was a little door slam in there.
They did, and he's able to take that spot away from the 26, and I think Michael Guest realizes this for the lead, but Jose Gonzalez at number 26 is going to battle back on the high side.
Yes, he is. Battles back on the high side. They'll go side by side, heading to turn 1. Well, they were up there touching and beating a little bit. And like we've said before, we normally see beating and banging. We always see a wreck involved. But these guys, man, definitely are keeping these trucks in line. Toyota versus Chevy up front. Michael Guest came from 35th spot and is now up. Well, he's not leading it. He's in 5th as of right now. We don't want to take anything away from Thomas George because he's still leading this thing. Chad Coleman in 2nd. Casey Duncan in 3rd. Jason Swan right there in 4th. Michael sitting in 5th. But like what me and Davis were talking about, we got a feeling once the green flag stops cycle, this is actually probably going to be your lead run right here.
Yeah, it most definitely is, Joe. And it's the number 74, Michael Guest, and number 26, Jose Gonzalez, almost gets in the wall there, and it definitely lost him about a 10th or 2 tenths.
Yeah, it did. Boy, he went sideways coming out of the turn there. Had to hang on to it. Also, you got Mike Kelly and company right there on his back end. Brian Boris Cook, he's a lap down. He's sitting there thinking, man, if I can just keep right here on pace with these guys, might be able to get back on the lead lap. Get a quick caution here later on. We got 20 to go, though, Davis. Time is running out.
Yeah, and I'm really interested to see what happened to 63. Maybe got caught speeding on pit road or on exit because he was up there battling with the leaders before they had the green flag pit stops.
Now, my next thing is here is, all right, Thomas George has a 14.8 second lead. Obviously, not enough. I mean, they're cutting a second a lap on him. So he doesn't have enough time to hold out front because we've got 19 to go. They'd be on top of him with about 4 or 5. So, I mean, is he thinking about at this point taking it the whole entire way? Can he actually make it that far?
Joe, I wouldn't think he would be able to, but I don't know. I mean, he's staying out there like he is, and even if he's not able to hold on to the lead, he would still be able to pull out a top 10 finish.
Yeah, it's showing him only making 1 pit stop. I just don't see. You're talking about 60 laps. I mean, I don't know if these trucks can do. Now, if I'm not mistaken, they do run 100% fuel here. So with that said, yes, on fuel, they can. Tires, and as I say that, here you come.
Yeah, and that just throws that all out the window.
Yep, never mind. Well, I was just waiting, I mean, because you're waiting to this far. What was the logic of waiting this far? Because now you're going to be marred way back in traffic. Obviously, probably hoping for a caution.
Yeah, I think that was the strategy there. It was just hoping for a caution to get out there and gain some extra track position. But unfortunately, it didn't work in his favor.
No, definitely not. But Michael Guest up. Well, it's not up front yet. Casey Duncan is definitely, when he drops down pit road, he'll be the man up front. Jose Gonzalez right there, and he's got Mike Kelly all over his back end. So Michael Guest has waited patiently all race long here in the closing laps, and it brought that thing up. And boy, look at that Ed Burrow right there, almost lost it behind the guys behind him.
I've seen that. He had to make some evasive movers right there, and he was still able to hold on to it.
Yes, he was. Wow. Scott Simley and company right there. Brian Boris Cook way up high. You got the, looks like the 48 there, Pedro Mega. Got the Mega machine out there running around, looking good. He's up in the 6th. Bobby Terrell's there in 7th. Nicholas Cohan back to 8th. E.J. O'Rourke the 9th. Steve Gottschalk, he's right there in 10th. That's a pole sitter. So these guys are they're kind of spread out because you got 10 seconds, 11 and 12, and 13 is from 7th on back.
And Joe, I think it's the number 2 of Mike Kelly can get around the 26 of Jose Gonzalez, he might give Michael Guess a run for his money. Before he was marred back there in traffic with the 26 and battling it out, he was running faster times than Michael.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Well, right now, Casey Duncan's got a 1.3 second lead. Mike Kelly's trying to work over Jose Gonzalez right there. As we see Michael Guest, though, he goes around the Ford machine of KC, and that's for the lead there. He got a lap car in between them. Watching Jose Gonzalez trying to hold off the charge of the Tonka man himself there, Mike Kelly.
Yeah, man, Michael Guest is loving this. He was able to get around the lap traffic. He was able to catch him at the right time, but the number 26 and the number 2 caught him at the worst possible time.
Yes, they did. Definitely not the area they wanted to catch him in. As Mike Kelly still trying to do everything he can. That's what this has done with the green flag pit stop. It has mixed up everybody on the field. We got lap down cars within other cars. And as we say that, Pedro Mega, he's going around the number 4 machine himself.
Yeah, he is going to look to take over that 5th position. And Casey Duncan, I do not believe he's pitted yet either, so maybe he's trying to stay out too, but I just really don't think you're going to be able to make it on fuel.
If it is, it'll be a magical job out there of what he's done here, so definitely something to keep in mind. Our first car lap down right now, Brian Boris Cook. He's in 21st. Ed Burrell right there in 22nd. Chris Gabu in 23rd. Jason Swan 24th. Byron Daly had a good truck earlier on, just got marred, lapped down way back in the 25th spot. Joey Katina, Mr. Sim500 himself out there. He's lapped down back in 27th. Good so far back there. Jonathan Lockhart, Bobby Wetzel. Some of the names that were up front definitely just got lapped down and just have not been able to recoup and get back up front.
Yeah, and that's just a product of these long green flag runs. And as they were just able, maybe had some little bad luck, might have missed their pit box or anything like that, and they're just able to mar them back in traffic and just haven't been able to catch a break to get up there, back up to the front and regain control.
Yep, no doubt. Well, Mike Kelly made it around Jose Gonzalez and made that pass for the 2nd spot. So we're going to see if he actually can run down the man up front, Michael Guest. He might could use some of that lap traffic to his advantage to get it done. Interesting to see what it's going to take for that 2 to get it done up here.
Well, he just ran about 2/100ths of a second faster than Michael Guest. So right now they're going to be in clean air right here, and it's going to be interesting to see their lap times as they come to the line.
Well, he's going to need to knock off tenths because he's only got 10 laps to get it done. Across the line, going to be 9/100ths is not going to get it here. Michael Guest has got about an 8/10 lead right now. We'll see what it is when they come across the line this time by. As they cross that line, looks like, man, he's still another about 5/100ths faster. But here comes a man, 84 machine. Excuse me, is that right? Is that the 84? Yep, Jimmy North. He's on newer tires.
Yeah, I think he's a lap down, Joe.
He is. Well, I just happened to see it. Him and Pedro have a close paint job with one another. I'll tell you what, Mike Kelly, I mean, if he could just get a lap car to slow Michael up just ever so slightly, come across the line and see what it is this time by. Well, Mike Kelly picked the pace up a little bit there. He got about well, I almost still say maybe a 10th or so right there.
Yeah, he's running the times he needs to run. He can just pick it up just about another 100th or so. He's going to be right there at his back bumper by the end of this race. He's just got to keep on being consistent, hit his marks at the right time, and he might find himself in victory lane.
Yeah, it is. Right now he's 6/10 back. The problem is, like you said, was when they come across the line here, it's going to be 7 to go. Unless he's just knocking a few more tenths, and he did knock about another 10th off of it right there. That's what he's got to do. He's 5/10 back, 7 to go. If he keeps knocking a 10th a lap, he's going to be knocking down the back tailgate of that 74.
He is, and what I noticed, the 74 elected to take the apron coming across the finish line, and the 2 of Mike Kelly didn't.
Don't know if that gave him the momentum coming in or not. We'll have to see this time by when they come across the line if they made up any gap here. I just got a feeling, I don't know, when they cross the line, let's see, that time by. Oh, Michael Guest a little bit faster on that lap.
He was, just got to think maybe Mike Kelly used too much of his tires in that run there, but we're going to see over here. Is this getting about 6 laps to go here?
It is 6 to go to cross the line this time by. It's going to be 5. Looks like 1 and 2. Michael Guest, or Mike Kelly's a lot better. 3 and 4. Michael Guest kind of holding him off just a little bit here. As they'll cross the line here for 5 to go. We're going to actually see. Oh, wow, well, that was about a 10th right there. Now he's 4 tenths back. Yeah, man, this is nerve-wracking as a driver to know. But I'm going to tell you what, Mike Kelly is using the perfect line going in 1 and 2. I can see it because, well, it's one of the lines I used to use. And you get so much momentum coming off the turn. You can actually just gain. The problem is 3 and 4, you're almost dead even with him. You got to let that truck kind of glide up the track and then come down to the apron and whatnot. And that's what they're doing as they cross the line that time by. Well, he's still another couple hundreds. 4 to go. He's still 4 tenths. Look at what he does right here. Goes low, lets the truck just come way up to the wall. And what that does, Davis, is that lets you get a momentum coming out of turn 2.
It definitely does, and you were able to see that right here. Just able to gain ground on him, but I'm also watching him. Mike Kelly's decided to use that apron coming across the line, and it's helping him a lot.
Yeah, I don't know if the draft really plays a big, huge factor here. Could maybe play a little bit. Obviously, they are running some high speeds. Let's watch again. That time by, he was only a couple hundred. See, and that's what I'm saying. He needs tenths. Hundreds is not going to get it with 3 to go. He needs to pull off some tenths right there on that man who is in the lead of the 74. They're just so even right now.
They are, and I'm watching Michael Guest. He's taking the bottom line in 3 and 4. Then Mike Kelly's, he's about half a lane up. And usually with 1.5 miles, that half a lane up is what really helps you gain the time and also saves your tire as well. But his tire wear is definitely out of the question here. These drivers are going for it.
Yes, they are. And right there, yeah, he's putting his tires right there on that low line and letting it just drift coming off the turn, get all the momentum speed coming out of turn 2. Just not enough. He's not making up enough ground in 3 and 4 for what he's making up in actually 1 and 2. I mean, he is just right there on him. But 3 and 4, you can see Michael Guest going through there, coming off of it as they cross the line. Just keeps it even or just pulls out. As when they cross the line, he's 3 tenths back, but the white flag is out. He's going to have one more time.
Yeah, he's going to have one more shot as they're in 1 and 2, and they're coming out of 2, going down the backstretch, and he almost evens up with him right there. And he's got a shot here coming into 3 and 4.
Yeah, he does. He's going to have to drive that thing in. The problem, if you drive it in too hard, 3 and 4, you're going to push right up into the wall. You can only do so much here. He's going to try to let it drift the best he can. Coming to the line, this time by Michael Guest is going to pull this thing off here tonight, folks. From the last place all the way to first place. What a finish for that number 74. But the 2 of Mike Kelly, he was coming up there and coming in a hurry.
He was, Joe. I think if he would have had another lap or two, he might have got right beside him, and it might have been a different story.
Yes, it would have. Man, what an awesome race here and an awesome finish to that one. And rounding out in third place, Jose Gonzalez. He's able to maintain and stay right there in third.
He was. I just want to elaborate to these viewers. These drivers went 80 laps, over 80 laps on a green flag run to end this race. And the margin of victory for Michael Guest was 1/10 of a second after 80 laps on a green flag run.
Yeah, that was awesome, too. We had like 2 cautions the whole entire race.
1 caution.
Oh, that's right. 1. My bad. I got excited.
Just an unbelievable finish, unbelievable race by these guys right here. I mean, if this is your first time tuning in, you definitely want to check them out next Monday because these drivers put on a show.
Absolutely. Well, Michael Guest will jump up here in a few. That's what he does. He jumps up here and wait for old Jose Gonzalez to get up here. But, hey, we do got the second place man down here. I'll let you get a word in with him, Mike Kelly.
Only 2 points out of the top 10.
Hey, Mike Kelly, this is Davis Richards up here in the OSRNetwork booth. Man, we were watching you and Michael Guest battle for the lead for about the last 20 or 30 some odd laps. We've seen you get around Jose Gonzalez. What was your mental game plan there as soon as you got around the 26 of Jose Gonzalez?
Well, I didn't think I'd be able to get him to him, to be honest. He was fast all night, but I think he had a little damage. Him and Jose got together a little bit there, and it hurt them both. And I was just going to be happy with the top 3. But then when I saw he was struggling there a little bit at the end, I put my head down and started digging and just about made it.
Yeah, we definitely noticed that damage on the 74, and we were watching your line there in 1 and 2, and Joe was talking about how he used to win races at this track and was using that same exact line in 1 and 2, and you were making some momentum on there, and you actually gained about 2 or 3 tenths within the last 2 laps. Do you think if you would have had about another 2 or so mod laps, you think you'd have been able to catch him?
Well, I could have made it interesting, that's for sure. Earlier at the end of that second run there, he was really making high side work well and coming off 2 with just all kinds of steam, but I don't know if he was just taking it easy or it wasn't working for him as good there at the end, but my truck was really hooked up on the bottom. I wish I kind of would have maybe went down there a couple laps sooner, but could have just been the timing. But anyway, it was really making up time down there, and I was getting forward in the seat, I'll tell you that.
Oh yeah, we were screaming and yelling up here in the booth, as that was definitely an unbelievable finish. But congratulations on your second place finish, and we look forward to seeing you next week. But before we let you go, you got anyone out there you want to thank?
Yeah, mainly the Turn 1 Heroes guys. We had another good night tonight. Jose's kind of an honorary member of our team, and he had a good finish, and Scott Simley was right there, and Bobby got hosed by that first yellow and drove back up to 6th. So congrats to those guys, and thanks for being great teammates, and thanks to Tonka, IKS, you guys, and Sim500. It's a great league, and I'm not really looking forward to Talladega next week, I can tell you that.
Well, we'll push some good luck your way. But then again, congratulations, man. Congratulations on your team, too, with an awesome showing here tonight at Kentucky. And we'll look forward to seeing you next week there, Mike.
Thanks, guys. It was a good race.
All right, so Mike Kelly right there, man, definitely doing his thing here tonight. We definitely got Michael Guest in here. And that's a winner tonight, so I guess I'm going to run off down here. Don't see Jose Gonzalez in here yet, so maybe he'll jump up here in a little bit. Well, I'm running to Victory Lane here and get a talk in with our winner. Michael Guest, Joe out in the booth, got a copy?
Sure do.
Well, I'll tell you what, Michael, last place, first place. Wow, take us back to how was the track, how the truck. I mean, you pulled the victory off here in Kentucky. I mean, was you kind of worried there at the end?
Oh yeah. At the beginning of the race, I got home from school pretty late, so I didn't have any time to practice, or I just turned my computer on, so I even forgot about like reconfiguring my brakes. So until the first stop, I could only like barely tap them like just off and on, so like it wouldn't go full down. So my tires were pretty bad after the first run, and I was just staying out. That was pretty much my only hope, because I only got up to about 15th on that first run, and luckily I got it about 5 laps after everyone else pitted, and that's what got me the track position. And at the end, yeah, the Highline was working really well for me, and then me and Jose made contact for the lead, and luckily I pitted after them, a few laps after them, so I wasn't, even after that contact, I wasn't off until the very end.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, definitely me have a bad fast truck. And one thing I had to bring up, me and Davis have seen, I've seen it in the last couple of weeks, and Davis brought up here too, is we noticed in the last couple of weeks you've actually qualified in the back. Is that by design, or you just running behind, or what?
Well, Kentucky's my worst track on the service, so I didn't want to qualify and put anybody in harm's way. I just wanted to start in the back, and I just chilled back there for the first 10 or so laps, getting my grips on the track.
Well, for it to be your worst track, you definitely won here tonight. Brought it through the field very patiently, very good there. And hey, you pulled the win off here tonight at Kentucky Speedway here for the Sim500 Monday Night Money Winter Series. Awesome win, Michael Guest. Got anybody out there you want to thank?
Yeah, Racer Boost and DJ and JD Laird for painting this awesome car that I have.
No doubt about it. Definitely was awesome to watch. It's good to see you watch week in and week out here. Well, there he is, folks, the man, the 74 machine, Michael Guest, winner tonight. Good, congratulations.
Thank you for putting this broadcast on.
All right, man, appreciate it. Well, Davis, man, there you go. He basically running late, missed it tonight, and I don't see Jose Gonzalez in here, so we'll just try to get it maybe next week or whatnot. Either way, you got any final words, Davis?
Yeah, to go back on what Michael Guest said, if this is his worst track, I'd hate to see him at his best track because he definitely came from last to the lead to win the race. And just what an awesome showing by these guys. We see some close action, green flag racing, and just again, what an awesome finish.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely was an awesome finish. One caution here tonight for the 120 of laps they run. Well, folks, we'll go race some 4 calls tomorrow night. More truck action. Them boys are running. And if I ain't mistaken, I think we're back at Kentucky again. So should be exciting. Until then, it's Joe White and Davis Richards up here in the OSRNetwork booth. Everyone have a good night.